umaasa sa iba kundi sa iyo at sa akin ang simula ng pagbabago. Panahon na para bumangon at paikutin muli ng tama ang mundo. Suliranin ng ating lipunan, unti-unting magagawan ng paraan. Sa bagong siglo na ito ng ating mga buhay, tayo'y magsama-sama. Bigyang liwanag ang daan, maging gabay sa lipunan, kailangan ng iyong kamay.
Halika na kapwa Pilipino, halika na kapwa isko at iska.
Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sarap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo. Ang agos mo ay ang iyong natutunan laban sa karahasan. Ang iyong sandata ay serbisyong sasakip sa mamamayan mula sa kahirapan. Halika na, kapwa mandirigma, magtagumpay kapwa isko at iska. Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sarap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sarap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sarap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Huwag mong iasa sa iba kundi sa'yo at sa akin ang simula ng pagbabago. Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sarap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw.
Good afternoon from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. This is Faith Navarro, your host for today. Welcome to the first leg of Balangkas, NSTP Project Management Webinar Series, which is Panganod, Project Proposal Conceptualization Webinar. Binabati rin namin ang ating mga participants mula sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas at mundo through Zoom at sa NSTP Diliman Office YouTube live stream. To start the webinar, let us all stand for the singing of the National Anthem.
Pasulong! Kod! Baba! Kulay!
Before we proceed with the webinar, we just have a few reminders of our following house rules. First, be mindful of your microphones and video cameras throughout the event. We recommend you to use the side-by-side with speaker video option. And the third, the questions gathered in the registration form will be prioritized. For other questions and comments, please use the chat box. Also, please indicate to whom your question is for. Also, certificates will be awarded to those who request for one and comply with minimum requirements through the webinar evaluation form. The link for the webinar evaluation form will be announced at the end of the session. And lastly, to the presenters, you will be reminded of the 2 minutes remaining time through chat to wrap up your presentation. Okay, now that our house rules are set, before beginning the program proper, let's have an icebreaker first. Let's have an interesting activity. So Zoom participants and YouTube participants are very much welcome to join us. So I'll be asking a question, and whoever wants to answer would need to use the raising hand emoji to be recognized before they can unmute and show their video and answer the question. So I will call your name po, and you will be spotlighted to answer my question. Other participants are also encouraged to type their answers on the chat box, and our team member from the YouTube Live will be the one to relay to us some of your answers. Okay, are you ready, guys? If you are ready, can you show me some heart emojis right now? Some heart emojis. Okay. Okay, thank you, Melanie, for giving that heart emoji. Okay, I see some other heart emojis. So here goes the question. Okay, can you share with us a funny or interesting story about a project you've handled? Maybe a crazy project proposal and some lessons you learned from it. Anybody? I know that many of our participants are actually teachers and researchers. So for sure, you have your stories. Who wants to tell their story first? Anybody? You can use the hand raise emoji. I mean, raise hand emoji. Anybody? Okay, I know you're still thinking about your stories. Pero, who wants to go first? Anybody from UP? Okay. I'll count to 5, then I'll choose a random participant. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me call up a random participant from our Zoom. Miss Jan Micah, do you have a project, a proposal story, something interesting, something that is funny or crazy, or maybe something that made you learn a really good lesson?
It's not really a proposal thing, but I'm already doing the research. Parang, kasi my major is in soil science. So I graduated from UP din, pero sa UPLB po, agriculture. And tapos na po yung proposal. Ngayon, I'm teaching sa Pampanga State Agricultural University. Before, meron kaming activity or part na project or part ng research that kailangan namin kumuha ng mga soil samples sa different parts of the Philippines. So, ganun po. Ngayon po, I'm very afraid of frogs and other amphibians and reptiles. So, nung nandun na kami sa pit, nakita ko na punong-puno pala ng frogs yung pit. So, bilang ako yung kailangan kumuha, kasi ako po yung marunong tumingin ng mga characteristics ng soils doon. Hindi ko siya nagawa. Tumawag pa kami ng mga farmers para makuha yung mga frogs. So, I think yun po yung pinaka nakakahiya. Hindi talaga siya funny for me kasi nakakahiya kasi dapat bilang agriculture graduate, kaya kong harapin yung mga ganung bagay pero hindi ko siya nagawa. Yun po.
Thank you for sharing that story and welcome sa mga nasa Pampanga ngayon. Nasa Pampanga ka right now?
Ay, wala po. Pero online class po kasi yung sa akin. So,
for sure yung mga estudyante mo na nanonood through YouTube.
Sana po. Sana po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. Nako, madami tayong ganyang kwento. Yung dapat nagawa natin pero hindi natin nagawa. Pero okay lang yun. Pwede tayong mag-try again next time. So other stories, another one? Meron ba tayo sa YouTube Live? Okay, let's check. Let's get another person to share their story. Okay. How about Miss Maria Regina Valerio? Do you have any story to share with us this afternoon? Nandiyan po ba kayo? Can we try to spotlight Miss Regina if she's there? Okay, let's wait for a while. Okay. Let's pick another person if she's not yet ready. Let's have her later. How about Miss Gail Pilerio? Good afternoon, Miss Gail. Oh, we're still waiting for them, but I'm sure they have really good stories to tell. Can we unpin Miss Jan Micah? Or baka ready na si Miss Regina? Hello? Meron din ba kayong mga ganong kwento katulad kay Jan Micah kanina? About your field stories? A lot of other people are also joining us right now. New people are coming in. And if you haven't heard my question yet and you want to participate in our icebreaker question, here it is. Can you share with us a funny or interesting story about a project you've handled or a crazy project proposal? And what lesson did you learn from it? Okay. Miss Regina, are you ready?
Hi, hello po.
Hello, Miss Regina.
Hello.
Nasaan kayo ngayon?
Nasa office po. Sa
Oh,
NSTP office. Hello po. Good afternoon po sa lahat.
good afternoon. So, do you have an interesting story about the project you've handled?
Meron isa, nung student pa ako, nung undergrad pa ako, sa arts management class.
Mhm.
So, yung finals kasi namin, kailangan namin mag-propose ng project ng event para sa finals namin. And kaunti lang kasi kami dun sa class.
Mhm.
And hindi kasi ako very active dun sa class ko noon. Nalaman ko nung nag-represent na yung iba kong classmates, may ginawa silang joint na project. So, ako, ha? Oh my God, may ano na sila. Meron na silang project. Tapos ako, solo lang.
Hindi
Solo
ka
lang.
na-inform.
Yes, hindi ako na-inform. Hindi ako nasama sa GP. Anyway. But anyway, yung project kasi namin, event siya, para live poetry slam. Yung
Mhm.
poetry jam. And yung pinaka-memorable experience ko doon is that yung mga participants namin dun sa event, hindi lang siya doon sa yung UP community lang.
Mhm.
Nagulat kami yung mga nakasama namin dun sa poetry jam, mga outside UP. So, mga taga
Mhm.
Ateneo, tapos mga basta yung mga colleges dyan.
Yeah,
Ayan.
yeah. Ateneo, Miriam.
Yan. So, nagulat kami dun sa dami ng mga participants na gusto mag-poetry jam, ganyan. So, ayun. So sobrang memorable na kasi students pa lang kami, pero yung event namin, sobrang
Mhm.
memorable kasi nga, hindi lang siya nasa loob lang ng UP, outside pa siya ng university. Ayun.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Miss Regina. Marami pa tayong matututunan tungkol sa project management and project proposals later through our talks. Thank you again, Miss Regina. And from our YouTube participants, Joy Magno said, because of the changes and challenges during the pandemic and the restrictions, yung mga na-propose na akala ay okay na ay kailangan biglang baguhin. Not so fun, but we learned flexibility. That's true. Marami tayo talagang mga dapat i-adapt na bagong mga systems nitong pandemic, no? Pero go pa rin because we want to push our projects. Okay. Before, again, we would like to thank our participants who shared their stories. Si Micah, si Regina, tsaka si Joy. Thank you so much. Now, it's time to finally start our talks. Without further ado, let me introduce the NSTP Diliman Office Director, Sir Dennis Quilala, to formally open the webinar. Good afternoon, Sir Dennis.
Good afternoon, Faith. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome all our participants from all over the Philippines. We have registered participants from Mindanao, the Visayas, and Luzon. I would like to thank also our speakers for today, especially Mr. Ong, Dr. Mendoza, and Second Lieutenant Aniciete. The National Service Training Program is aimed at preparing our students to become reservists who will be able to respond to challenges in the future. We are preparing our students so that they will be able to respond to challenges that will be presented to us as a nation. So we are basically doing this in the service of the nation. How to respond to these challenges? There are definitely a lot of possible responses. There are also responses that we can do by just using our common sense. But definitely, there's also a systematic way of responding to these challenges, to challenges that we face today and the challenges that we'll be facing in the future. The webinar series, Balangkas, is primarily aimed at doing that. We want to prepare our students and also our NSTP implementers in systematically prepare the NSTP projects of our students while they're taking their NSTP. We are hoping that the skills that they will be learning in our webinar series will be not only useful when they become, while they are students of the NSTP, and when they become reservists in the future. We are quite sure, Team NSTP, we are quite sure that you will be able to use the skills from this webinar series and also in your other projects, in your other courses in your life, So that's basically the goal of Balangkas. Today, we will be starting our webinar series on project management with Panganod, project proposal conceptualization. So Panganod, I was informed, is a Bisaya term for clouds, something that we aim for in our project proposals, but at the same time, it also represents brainstorming. So that's basically what we'll be learning today. Again, I would like to thank our speakers, and again, I would like to welcome everyone to our webinar series. Sana po, lahat na matutunan natin dito ay magamit natin sa patuloy na masikhay at tapat na serbisyo po para sa bayan. Maraming salamat po at mag-enjoy po tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, NSTP Diliman Office Director Dennis Quilala, for that warm opening remarks. Indeed, no, we need those problem-solving skills for our projects, just like what we've heard from our participants who shared that they had challenges with their projects before, but also they also learned lessons. Now, let's go to our first presenter. Our main speaker for today's event is currently working as a change leader in Nokia. He is passionate about connecting both the industry and the academe. That is why he has been teaching part-time in different universities since 2007. He graduated BSECE and MSCS in Mapua. He also completed MBA in UP Diliman. He is also a certified project manager by PMI. Right now, he is pursuing his PhD in business leadership in Ateneo. Without further ado, let us use our heart and clap emoji to welcome Sir Erwin Donavan S. Ong, all the way from Poland. Hello, Sir Ong.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Erwin. Thank you so much for the introduction, Faith, and I'm very honored, Director Dennis, for this opportunity to share my experience and skills to this NSTP community. Okay, so I'm currently in Poland. I'll tell you about it in a short while, but in Poland, if we want to greet everyone, either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, we just say Dzień dobry. Okay, so again, let me share my screen. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see it clearly, sir.
Okay, so again, hi everyone. I'm Erwin. I'm very honored to still be able to teach in UP Diliman, despite the pandemic has started, and then I have to move here because our company in the Philippines closed. And when the company closed during the pandemic, I'm torn between getting severance pay and then looking for a job, waiting for the market to open up, or continuously find a work somewhere where I can provide for my family. Mahirap din kasi, we all know. We've been through the pandemic 2020. It's not a very easy situation for all of us. Okay, so I'm also finishing my PhD. I'm in my dissertation stage. Buti na lang online pa. So I'm able to continue despite being here. And yeah, I'm finishing it on my last few years for my dissertation. So I hope you're excited for today. No, I learned about Panganod being brainstorming. No, it's a very wonderful term because in project management we always do brainstorming. It's very important. No, pero guys, may tip ako. Huwag kayo magbe-brainstorm mag-isa. Okay? Kasi magmumukha kayong ewan, ha? Just remember that, please. If you will remember one thing now, wag kayo magbe-brainstorm mag-isa. Titingnan kayo ng mga tao, then pagtatawanan kayo. Okay? So make sure you are not brainstorming by yourself. So I have more than 8 years of experience in project management alone, and I have dealt with a lot of problems. I have dealt with a lot of projects, events, may it be events, constructions, and everything along the way. So our agenda for today, I hope you are really excited for it, is we'll talk about characteristic ng project. Paano mo ba muna masasabing project po yan, Kuya Erwin? O hindi yan project? How will you say that? Dito natin itatackle yon. Second, paano ka ba gagawa ng proposal? Right? Ano ba yung proposal? Ano ba yung content niya? Number 2 and number 3. Why is it important? Hindi lahat ng project, porket naisip nyo, we will do that. Hindi lahat. Minsan, it's not worth the effort. Minsan, it will not give you the benefit. Mas lugi ka pa, or mas pagod ka pa, or mas sayang pa. So I want you to consider what a project proposal is, and then, ano ba talaga yung content nun? If you will submit a proposal, kunyari, meron kayong naisip sa NSTP nyo, I want this. Ano yung lalagay nyo? Okay? I can send you a simple, Word file where you can fill it up. Pero if you have the template from UP, please use it. No, it's much, much better. But lalagay ko lang yung mga content. Ano ba talagang hinahanap? After that, we'll basically talk about why is a good project proposal important. Kasi yung iba, they tend to skip this part. And then proceed na lang tayo dito. Sige, gawin na natin yan. No, you have to always start with proposal. And then, later, we will try to write a very, very, very basic proposal. Okay, so I hope you will join the entire 3 series, no? 3 series to, no? Wag niyo sana akong iiwan sa season 1. Okay? Tapusin niyo until season 2 and season 3. Tiyagain niyo muna ako. So season 1, this season 1 is about project proposal making. Ito tayo ngayon, okay? Panganod. Project proposal making. Next, ang second natin is pagkatapos mo i-propose, i-implement mo na siya. Paano mo i-implement? Marami kang kailangang aspect na tingnan. Okay? Marami ka dapat tingnan na aspect, tingnan na angle, paano mo ito i-monitor, anong kailangang scope mo, anong communication style mo, anong implementation. So basically, after pala natin ng season 1, we will talk about project implementation. Paano mo na siya gagawin? I will be very honest. I'm not a super duper project manager na lahat ng project ko perfect. When I started, I have a lot of lessons learned from my mistakes, no? And we all do that. Pero the goal of this webinar is for me to share para mas less mistake na kayo. 'Di ba? May isip niyo, sabi na nga ba, sabi to kasi ni Kuya Erwin, dapat ganito, no? Hindi yung pagdating doon tsaka pa lang kayo, oops. Sorry, no. Alam niyo 'yon, the goal of this webinar is to help equip you para ready kayo. Okay? So remember, season 1, project proposal making, next project implementation, and season 3, which is project management tools. Papakitaan ko kayo ng iba-ibang tools. Ito gagamitin natin diyan, ito gagamitin diyan, ito gagamitin diyan, and ma-apply niyo siya. No? Interestingly, those tools are very, very helpful. Okay? So, without further ado, allow me to start our webinar series. So let's start by talking about Joy Joy. No? Si Joy Joy, she went to General Santos. No? Punta siya ng Gensan. And then, bigla siyang nakita niya yung Muslim community. Nakita niya yung needs ng Muslim community. Pumunta siya doon, nakita niya, hala, ganito pala buhay nila. And then, naisip niya, ito na lang ang gagawin kong NSTP project proposal ko. I wanna create a literacy training service. No? We will help Joy Joy. Yan yung gagawin natin later. Na tutulungan natin siya kung paano ba siya gagawa ng proposal. Hindi kasi pwede basta-basta nakita ko tong mga Muslim community, ay okay na to. Ako na bahala. No. Basically, you have to make sure na when you provide her with the when you create your proposal, you're sure na kumpleto ka ng mga necessary parts to make your proposal really, really, really something that the sponsor would be able to understand, and you will get their heart to say, sige, yes kami dyan. Okay? So, we all know that projects and operations are different thing. Pero Kuya Erwin, paano ba natin masasabing project yan? How will we know that itong gagawin namin are project? No? So, technically, lahat ng project, ito yung characteristic. Una sa lahat, there will be a clear start and end date. Okay. Pag project, meron tayong gustong matapos, right? It needs to have a start and end date. Kunyari, itong gagawin nating kay Joy Joy, NSTP. Meron tong start date. Gagawin namin to ng, sabihin nating November 5 to November 6. May date kayo. Hindi siya forever. Okay? A project cannot go on forever. Okay? So para sa inyo mga naghahanap ng forever, wag project hanapin nyo. Walang forever sa project. Okay? Malinaw tayo doon. Baka sabihin nyo, project forever. Hindi. Okay, kung naghahanap kayo ng forever sa buhay, project, wag yon kasi hindi yan forever. Okay, may ending yan. So a project, it can last several years. It can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but it's not forever. Let me give you an example. Okay. Sa LRT, no? Ito na lang. Kunyari, i-share ko sa inyo, no? Dito sa Poland, ang isa sa natuwa ako is maraming tram. Maraming tram. 'Di ba alam niyo yung sa atin meron tayong LRT, meron tayong MRT. Then meron tayong bus, meron tayong jeep, meron tayong tricycle. Dito ang common sa kanila, dalawa. Bus and tram. Yung tram nila nasa kalsada lang siya. Nasa kalsada lang yung tram nila, no? So basically anong tawag doon? Bibili lang kami ng ticket, and then you will have only rides, no? Only rides sa tram. Tapos you can go all around, no? So within the city. So pakita ko sa inyo para maybe nakikurious kayo kung ano itsura ng sinasabi kong tram. So ganito siya. Let me show you. Yan. Ito itsura ng tram. And then nasa nasa streets lang rin siya, hindi siya elevated, hindi rin siya subway, nasa ilalim. But basically nandiyan siya, minsan dinadaanan rin niya ng mga bus or something, pero yan yung mode of transportation dito, no? Kunyari sinabi nila sa Pilipinas, sabi ni Marcos, gagawa na tayo ng mag-introduce ako ng tram, just an example, no? So having that tram, bago nila gagawin yun, gagawa muna sila nitong dinaanan natin na Panganod, no? Mag-start sila with project proposal. Bakit ba kailangan ng tram sa Pilipinas, sa Metro Manila? They will start with that. And then, the project itself will be building the railway, yung mga tram path, at the same time, yung sasakyan, ma-deliver. And then, pagkatapos nun, guys, after, just remember this, kaya siya hindi forever. Pag na-set up mo na yung tram, tapos na yung project. Operation na bahala. Sila na magpapagana ng tram. I hope you understand the difference between project and operation. So, ibig sabihin, a project has a clear start and end date. Kuya Erwin, meron pa akong question. during sa ano sa operation ng tram sa Pilipinas, no, may change, no? Gusto nilang magkaroon ng ruta papunta sa ganitong lugar. It's a project. So ang gagawin mo naman, aayusin mo naman yung plano para magkaroon ng ruta sa kabilang lugar. And then pag naayos mo na 'yon, ipapasa mo na ulit sa operation. Sila na magpapatakbo. So I want you to remember that, no? That's very, very important. A project has clear start and end date. Kunyari, event, di ba? Gagawa tayo ng event. Si Joy Joy, kanina binanggit ko, tutulungan natin siya. We'll basically create a literacy training service program for the Muslim community. Tutulungan natin siya. Meron kang start and end date. Hindi yun forever. Pwedeng twice a year, pero natatapos siya. And iba-iba, baka iba-ibang training program. It creates something new. Okay, every project is unique, no? One-off activity never to be repeated exactly the same way. Unique siya. Maybe Muslim rin, pero ibang bayan. Something like that. A project has boundaries, no? Nako-constrain siya within the schedule, the scope, no? Scope. Ano lang yung scope mo? The cost. May pera lang na involved, and that's it. And project is not business as usual. Sinabi ko nga, hindi siya operation. Okay, it's really different. No, operation, bigyan kayo ng hindi project sa office. sa workplace. Yung pagbibigay ng sahod, it's an operation. Bakit? Kasi paulit-ulit yung ginagawa niya. Every 15th or every 30th, bibigyan ka ng sahod. That's operation. Hiring people. Those are basically operation. Hire ka ng hire. That's operation. Paano magiging project? Sir, Kuya Erwin, paano magkakaroon ng project sa operation? Kunyari, just an example, yung hiring mo, manual. Gusto mo gawing automated. Nasa system. That's a project. Pag na-set up mo na yung automated na hiring process, ipapasa mo na sa operation. I want you to remember that. That's very important. You have to clarify first ano difference ng project and operation. And I hope that's clear. Okay. Now let's proceed with project proposal. No? Ano ba? Topic number 2 na tayo. I hope you're with me. Okay. Season 1, episode 2. What is a project proposal? No? Okay. So, project proposal concisely describes what your projects hope to accomplish. Kaya important to. Hindi pwede kasing, I want to do this, I want to do that. Hindi pwede. You have to make sure that you have a proposal kung ano lang ba talaga yung gusto mong i-accomplish. Bakit yung goals na yun are important and how you want to achieve them. So yun yung pinaka-basic na meron. No? This proposal is meant to convince key stakeholder why the project should be carried out and get approval or funding. 'Di ba kaya ka nga gagawa niyan magpropose ka, ito po yung gusto kong gawin, and then once you convince them, sasabihin nila na approve yan. You can proceed. So that's very, very important, no? Kailangan you have to properly do some technique to convince them. Okay, it's the necessary first step to get the project off the ground. Hindi siya, sabi ko nga, hindi pwedeng basta na lang kayo talon. Gawin na natin, tulungan na natin yung Muslim community. Hindi, titingnan mo muna. You have to come up with proposal. Bakit? Kasi from the proposal, doon nila makikita anong mabe-benefit ng mga Muslim community dito. Why do we want to help them? Ano yung goal mo? Anong klaseng help? Ano bang klaseng help? Papakainin lang ba natin? Tutulungan, feeding program? Or tutulungan natin sila? Or ititrain natin? Bakit ito titrain mo? Bakit itong skills kailangan nila? You have to create a really good proposal. So, you don't just grab attention, but deliver your project proposal with clarity and confidence. You want to convince your stakeholder and they will say, yes. Diba? Pag nagpropose tayo sa babaeng love natin, 'di ba? Hindi naman siya basta-basta hindi naman siya dapat alam mo and gusto mo siyang ma-convince para magsabi siya ng yes. No? So, a project proposal, remember, is not a contract. No? Pag nag-propose ka, hindi yan final contract na, hindi. Pag-uusapan natin yan sa season 2. Okay? Hindi pa, basta tandaan niyo, proposal is just a proposal. Hindi pa yan marriage contract. Okay? Proposal pa lang yan. So, ano ba yung content? Ayan, dito tayo medyo magtatagal. No? If you have any questions, you can post it in the chat and then later I will support you. No? So I have experience around 60 projects na, no? May mga may iksi, may mga mahaba, no? In my entire career sa Nokia and sa church din. No? Gumagawa kasi kami sa church ng mga um, dental mission. Okay, may mga ganun. So it's a project, right? Kailangan maayos yung queue, dito yung pila. Kasi kapag hindi mo inayos yung plano mo, magkakaroon ng mga bottleneck, right? And then bakit kailangan dito? All those things. You have to understand how to create a really good proposal. Now, let's proceed with the content. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. No? We want to know the content. Kung makikita nyo, no, kanina may nag-share. No, sabi niya, takot siya sa mga reptiles. Di ba? Takot siya sa mga reptiles. No? So, hindi pa natin yun pag-uusapan dito, kundi sa season 2 natin pag-uusapan yung mga risk. Di ba? Yung mga risk. Dito, hindi, parang when you create a proposal, no, hindi pa natin goal intindihin lahat into detail, but rather just a high level. High level lang ang kailangan natin. So, unlike the project implementation, which is season 2 natin, detalye siya. Real detail, no? Ng mga, which I will guide you kung paano. Tapos, kailangan nyo siyang i-practice. No? Project management is practice. No? So, gusto ko lang rin kayo i-excite if ever someday you're really interested to pursue career in project management, you can chat me. No, I will recommend Project Management Institute. No, certification PMP. I got my global PMP certification. So I'm a globally certified project manager, and yeah, I do training rin, no, all around the world sa mga project management. So in case interested kayo, Kuya Erwin, gusto ko rin magpa-certify para maganda sa resume ko. Paano ko ba gagawin yon? You can chat me and I'll do my best to help. Okay? So basically, let's start with the content. So the first is executive summary. Okay? Executive summary. Ano ba yung executive summary? Executive summary is a quick overview to your project proposal. Introduction siya. It's similar to a report abstract or an essay introduction. This section should summarize what's coming and persuade your stakeholders to keep on reading. No? Summary yan. Kumbaga, paano ko ba yung i-describe? Depende kasi sa pinepresentan mo. Ako nakapresenta ako ng project proposal sa matataas. VP, executive, no? If you will present that, hindi nila babasahin yung 20 pages mo. Hindi. They will ask for executive summary. Pag nakita nila executive summary, mayroon ka ng important parts, doon nila maintindihan na, sige, basahin ko pa nga. Doon pa lang nila malalaman na ayoko na to. Okay. So overview siya ng main elements eh. Usually, I provide a bit about project background, objective, deliverables, no? The goal is to really capture their attention and get them excited about the project you're proposing, no? Para siyang elevator pitch, no? Na-try niyo na ba yung sa elevator pitch, no? Pag sinabing elevator pitch, in 5 minutes kaya mo ibenta sarili mo. Dun sa gusto mo, no? Yung okay, baka kasi sabihin ng iba sa elevator, hindi naman ako ganoon eh. Nautot nga ako minsan eh, no? Wag ganoon, ha? Ang kailangan natin, guys, you have to know how to prepare an elevator pitch in such a way that when you create the executive summary, they will really understand the point that you're making. No? Important siya. It should be descriptive and paint a picture of what a successful project looks like. No? Yeah. So, it should motivate them and get them signed na, sige, basahin nga natin yan and then gawin natin yan. So the first part, if you will have a template no sa NSTP, I would suggest, depende kasi. Sa amin, example, I told you I'm working in Nokia. So the reason why the template that we're using for project proposal is PowerPoint. Meron kaming one slide title, second slide executive summary na may high level lang, and then detail. Ganun kami. Usually napagkakasya namin in one slide. No? So we'll talk about that sa tools, no? Season 3. Bibigyan ko kayo ng mga tools kasi baka gusto niyo baguhin yung tools niyo. Pero if you have already the template working for you, then maybe keep it as it is, no? But I will show you some of the template para you can compare if you wanted to improve something else. Okay? So the first again is executive summary. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Background of the problem. So, executive summary, basically, it contains high level about the problem, about the meron ka rin solution or something. Pero executive summary is just super duper high level. Now, in the background of the problem, you will provide much more information. Okay, dito mo na i-describe. Yung sinamarize mo sa executive summary na background of the problem, dito, ang goal mo is i-describe mo na siya. Okay? Okay. So, basically, for example, what is the problem your project addresses? Okay? What is the problem your project addresses, no? You'll go into the background, no? You use references and statistics to convince your reader that the problem you're addressing is worthwhile, no? Ano ba yung problem no na i-address sa project mo? Do sa community na pinag-usapan natin kanina, no? Sa community. Ano ba yung problem nila? Ano ba nakikita mo saan sila nahihirapan? Ano yung alam mo about that problem, no? Meron na bang tumulong sa kanila before? Bakit yung past research insufficient, hindi pa rin sila na solve or hindi pa rin naayos or something, no? Ang important dito, if you want to define the problem, I want to highlight this. If you want to define the problem, you have to start to use facts, not opinion. No? Minsan nasisilaw tayo sa opinion natin. Pero hindi pala yun yung facts. I want to highlight that. Weakness ko yan before. And minsan nangyayari pa rin sa akin. No? Parang yung sinabi ko na na hindi sila mahilig kumain ng ganito. Opinion ko yun. Hindi pala yun about facts. Opinion ko lang kasi may nakita akong dalawang ganun. So I want you to be careful, no? If you define the problem, make sure that it's really the fact and not basically just any opinion that you have. Okay? So yeah, I think someone is, can you mute? Okay na. So I want you to check that. No, it's a one-page section of your project proposal that explain the problem your project will solve. You should explain when this issue has started. Alam niyo, magbibigay kayo ng konting history about that. A little bit history para alam talaga nila. Okay? Now, balik tayo. So, gumawa ka na ng, ideally guys, hindi, naka-order to, pero hindi nyo sisimulan sa executive summary. I mean, gagawin niyo yung background, gagawin niyo yung proposed solution, deliverables, goal, resources, conclusion, tsaka nyo i-formulate yung executive summary. I want to highlight that. But the order of presenting that would be like this. Okay, ulitin ko. The proposal, Yan yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Pero, pag gagawin niyo yung proposal, you start with the background, proposed, deliverables, resources, conclusion, tsaka mo magagawa yung executive summary. Kasi anong isa-summarize mo? Summarize yan ng lahat eh. Yun nga lang, executive summary is being placed on the first page. Okay, lagi. If you're using Word file, if you're using PowerPoint, yan siya. Okay, let's move to the next one. Propose solution. Nabigay mo na yung problem mo. Background, no? Ano yung proposed solution for the community, no? Ano yung proposed solution mo? Kailangan ibigay mo yung vision statement mo, ibigay mo yung bakit better tong solution na to, ano yung mga risk, ano yung timeline, meron kang initial part. Okay? After that, nagawa na natin yon. What would be the next one? Meron ka ng proposed solution. No? So, kailangan, ano ba yung deliverables? Ano ba yung goals mo? No? So, pag gumawa tayo ng deliverables and goals, we basically make it smart. No? We basically make it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Ano ba yung goal mo? Specific. Hindi pwedeng gusto ko lang ganito. Basta gusto ko lang magpakain. Hindi. Meron tayong goal, specific goal. Gusto kong magawa yung ganito because ganyan, because how do you measure that, no? Set real numbers with real deadlines. Hindi pwedeng I want more visitors. Hindi eh. Hindi pwedeng I want to help Muslim community. Hindi. Specific, I want to help the Muslim, the community in this place with this number of people, ganito, ganyan. So, you have to be very specific, no? Measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Okay? And then next, after na yan, no? Nabigay mo na. Ulitin natin ha. You have provided background, proposed solution mo doon sa problema. Ano yung solution? Ano yung mga ide-deliver mo? Next natin pag-uusapan, ano yung kailangan mong tao? Ano yung kailangan mong pera? Anong kailangan mong gamit? Anong kailangan mong facility? Baka gagawin nyo tong sa community na to, kailangan mo ng isang malaking auditorium or something. Kailangan mo ng truck or, all those things, kailangan iplano mo maigi. Okay? And then, conclusions. No? Sa conclusions, you have to wrap up that in a persuasive and confident conclusion. No, like the executive summary, the conclusion should briefly summarize the problem your project addresses and your solution for solving that problem. Ulitin ko, kailangan yung magawa yung background, proposed solution, deliverables, problema, solution nyo. Ano yung i-deliver nyo? Ano yung mga resources na kailangan? Anong conclusion nyo? Tapos i-summarize nyo siya into the really short, brief, but strong executive summary. Okay? Please remember that. So, now, I have last 5 minutes. Let me give you some tip. No? Bakit ba yung good project proposal importante? No? So, it drives innovation. No, kapag maayos yung proposal mo, you provide enough detail about a project that stakeholder can feel confident investing their resources. No? Nakakatulong 'yan sa community, no? Sa wider public. Pag maayos yung proposal mo, focus ka lang. Hindi yung pagdating mo dun sa community, ay ganito gawin, ay ganito, ay bunutan mo nga kaya ng ipin, ay gupitan mo ng buhok. Ay hindi. Ang goal natin, if you have a proposal, focus ka talaga. If it's a feeding program, it's a feeding program towards the community. No? You anticipate and solve problem easily. No? A project proposal exposes a project's planning to a new audience. No? Discussing these risks and challenges early can help teams solve problems before they become major issues. So, ang maganda, pag nag-proposal ka, na-anticipate mo, na-discuss mo yung mga risk. Sa template natin, pag-uusapan to sa mga tools and techniques, sa Season 3, meron tayong template. No? Kaya, I want you to attend Season 3. Natapusin nyo buong season. And lastly, if you have a good proposal, pag magpa-plan ka, maayos talaga siya. Okay? So, um, I want you to consider, no? Skip na muna natin tong pagsusulat kasi we don't have much time, no? Pero I want you to um basically think. Si Joy pumunta sa community na to. Ano yung mga gagawin niya? No? Tandaan niyo yung binigay kong important part, no? Sabi ko, background ba? Ano ba yung problemang nakita niyo? Anong propose niyong solusyon? Anong goal niyo? Anong goal niyo? Bakit? Anong kailangan yung resources? Magkano? Pera? Whatever. Conclusion nyo. And i-summarize nyo siya into a really good executive summary. Okay? And remember, I want you to consider these tips, no? Bibigyan ko kayo ng tip. Marami rin akong proposal na parang it's not as perfect as I wanted it to be. May mga na-reject. Pero I'll give you some tip, no? Pag gagawa ka ng proposal, kailangan kilala mo yung audience mo. Sino ba yung decision maker? Ano ba yung gusto niya? Ano ba yung nasa puso niya? Paano mo ba makukuha yung buy-in niya? No? Minsan nga gagawa pa ako ng proposal, tinitweak ko pa a little bit depende dun sa next audience na papresentan ko. No, you have to know their preferences, their goals kasi iba-iba 'yon. Ano yung gusto nilang marinig? Ano yung makakatulong sa kanilang mas maintindihan to? Sila ba ay visually person or gusto nila binabasa? Remember that. Baka sa audience mo kailangan may print out ka para mabasa nila bago i-present. It really depends. Or gusto nila video. No, gusto nila video. That's something you consider. You have to consider your audience, no? Para alam talaga nila kung alam mo kung paano nila 'to maiintindihan. Potential pitfalls, no? Dapat alam, dapat alam mo yung give me a few more minutes, patapos na tayo. Dapat alam mo ano yung mga anong tawag doon? Potential pitfall, ano yung kulang, ano yung hindi clear yung objective mo, hindi maayos yung proposal mo. And lastly, you need to do research, no? Hindi ka pwede magbigay lang ng opinion mo. Ito yung nakikita kong problema. Baka opinion mo lang yun. Hindi yun fact. So you have to do the right research. Remember, audience mo, ano yung mga pitfall, and you have to do your part. And lastly, you know your audience, you have to be persuasive enough. You keep it simple. Wag sobrang complicated. Hindi niya kailangan project proposal 100 pages. Naku, walang magbabasa niyan. Simple but direct to the point. You have to proofread it and then you connect to the project. And then eventually, that's the end of the project proposal. So to summarize, no, let's not help Joy na muna, no. Just keep it in mind. Maybe pagkatapos ng webinar, isipin nyo, paano kung matutulungan si Joy dun sa community? Okay. So now, let me summarize, no. Always remember the 6 key content of a project proposal. Tandaan yon. Again, sisimulan mo sa problema. Okay, ulitin natin kasi importante ito. Kung meron man take away today, ito gusto ko. Simulan niyo sa problema. Anong solusyon na isip niyo? Anong gusto niyong i-deliver? 'Di ba? Gutom sila. Okay? Solusyon niyo, tutulungan niyo sila kung paano magkaroon ng continuous way para makapag-generate ng crops at the same time pakakainin niyo sila. Propose solution. Anong deliverables niyo? Ito, meron tayong mga feeding program ng once a week, tapos meron tayong crops training ng ganito. Resources, ilan kailangan nyo? And conclusion, and then executive summary. Okay? After that, dapat key stakeholder, dapat maintindihan ka ng key stakeholder, yun yung goal mo. Alam mo kung paano kuhanin ang puso ng audience mo for them to say yes to your proposal. Okay? But some tip, don't get discouraged by rejected proposal. No? Use that as a stepping stone to understand how you can improve better. Okay, so please connect with me. Again, I'm very honored. My name is Erwin Ong. I'm very honored, no? Thank you, Director Dennis. Thank you, Anthony, NSTP community for inviting me. I would love to connect and help further. So you can look me on LinkedIn and we can connect. Again, from Poland. thank you, no? So in Polish, it's dziękuję. Okay, so you learned two words today. Good morning, dzień dobry, and then thank you, dziękuję. So I'll give the floor back to Faith.
Thank you so much po again, Sir Erwin. I have many insights from your I get many insights from your talk po, no. It's not just that the necessary elements of a project proposal will help us convince our stakeholders, but also I kind of reflected on a project I did years before that actually the reason why I was so burnt out with the project was the project wasn't focused. So if I just listened to this talk years ago, maybe the project's still alive today. Or marami pang ibang na-improve with that project. So Sir Erwin, we would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Dziękuję.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much po for spending your time with us, and for sharing your knowledge. And now, we would like to remind our participants in Zoom and YouTube Live that we will have a question and answer session later after all the talks. So please send in your questions and our guest speakers will answer them later. Now, to breathe a little and to just give us time to digest everything that Sir Erwin shared to us, let's have another icebreaker. Okay. Other participants may have a quick break or grab something to drink or go to the restroom if you need to. But I will have to ask our participants to translate this word in their language. So you've heard this from Sir Dennis a while ago. So it's the term Panganod or the Bisaya of clouds. Diba? I know that everyone in this webinar is actually from different parts of the Philippines or maybe different parts of the world. Sir Erwin is in Poland right now. So can you give a translation of Panganod or clouds in your language? And what does it symbolize for you? It can be a personal interpretation or even cultural, since yun nga, iba-iba tayo ng pinanggagalingan ngayon. So same rules apply to this icebreaker. You may click the raise hand feature, or you may type it in if you're watching from YouTube. So anybody, what is Panganod in your language or clouds in your language? Again, we are calling this webinar Panganod because okay, someone's talking. Would you like to share what Panganod is in your language, Miss Precious? Hello? Hello, Miss Precious? Okay. So anyone? Wala kasi akong ibang lengguwahe na alam, Tagalog lang at English. So mas mabuti yung may third language pa. Sino kaya? In Bicol, clouds is pangaronon. Can we spotlight participant 7? Okay. Alapaap. Okay. Alapaap is a clouds. It's like horizon, no? Tama ba? Okay, anyone else? If you don't want to share, or if you don't have any other language, you may also share what you learned from Sir Erwin Ong's talk. Okay. Okay, we have a question here, but we would like to answer that later. How do you say this in Aklanon? Dea aura? Diora? Dampog in Waray. Sino yung naglagay ng Aklanon? Maybe you can unmute and tell us what it means to you culturally or just a personal interpretation of the word? Okay.
Hello po, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. What's your name?
Karina Merin po from NSTP Diliman office.
Oh, thank you for organizing this event.
Ano lang din, nag-share lang din ako kasi interesting din yung term sa amin. Although, magdi-disclaim na ako, hindi ko kabisado ang accent namin sa probinsya kasi lumaki na rin ako dito sa Manila. Pero, ang sabi sa akin ng tatay ko, ang cloud sa Aklanon is Dara-ura. Hindi ko lang sure kung tama yung last na sa ura, kung paano i-pronounce. Pero yung ra, Dara-ura. Yan.
Mahirap pala sabihin.
Yes. So, yun po.
Thank you for sharing that. In Tacloban naman daw, dampog in Waray. Okay. Marlon, Laura, dampog in Waray. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing those translations. Now, we would now like to introduce our second speaker. Our second speaker is actually Dr. Rosalie C. Mendoza, the current College Secretary of the College of Forestry and Natural Resources, UPLB. She works as an associate professor at the Department of Forest Products and Paper Science and holds a curator position at the Museum of Natural History at UPLB. She served as the NSTP College Coordinator last 2015, that's face-to-face, and 2021 online. And she handles both LTS and CWTS components. Let us all welcome Dr. Rosalie C. Mendoza. Hi, Dr. Rosalie.
Hi, Faith. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, wala pa akong masabi na ibang pagbati kundi magandang hapon dahil ako ay nandito sa kabundukan ng Laguna sa Los Baños po. So, I'm thankful to the organizers, NSTP UP Diliman, for inviting me this afternoon to share. I hope what I will share will be helpful po sa mga nanonood sa ating Zoom meeting at sa YouTube din. So let me just share my screen. Ma'am Faith, ano kayang nakikita?
Let me go in.
Wala pa, ma'am.
Wala pa po. Okay po. Let me try again.
There, we can see it.
Meron na, ma'am.
Okay po. Saglit lang po Ako naman po yung walang makita. Saglit lang po.
It's okay, Dr. Rosalie. Right now, we can see your first slide, NSTP Project Conceptualization Insights from CFNR.
Yeah, but wait, I have to check it again because I cannot see my screen.
Okay.
Sayang yung practice namin.
Let's ask some help from our tech.
Sir Anton, help. Okay, wait. Can't see it. I'll try again. But yeah.
Right now, I can only see you. We need tech help. I think I am not seeing anything right now besides.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes po.
Let me just share the screen for you and just tell me if I need to move the slides.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so habang naghihintay po tayo, I apologize for the technical difficulty. So habang naghihintay po tayo ng aking screen na nawawala. I am grateful po kay Sir Erwin for the insights that he shared. Even nung mga past meetings po natin while preparing for this webinar. So thank you po sa for being so generous sa mga iyong insights. So mukhang hindi na po ako mahihirapan na mag-discuss ngayong tanghali kasi most of the topics that you discuss ay covered din po ng aking presentation. So thank you so much po, Sir Erwin. Okay, so this presentation is about our experiences here in UPLB, particularly in our college. Thank you po for the assistance, particularly here in CFNR, the College of Forestry and Natural Resources, UPLB. So yung mga masashare ko po ay yung mga kung ano yung mga projects na nagawa namin or mga experiences na naranasan namin dito while conceptualizing NSTP projects. Particularly po, I would like to focus on civic welfare training service projects kasi yun po yung mas na-handle ko nung nagtuturo ako ng NSTP. Okay po. So just call me Lali. Yun po yung nickname ko po. So Lali from CFNR UPLB. Next slide, please. So just to give you a brief background about how we implement NSTP here in UPLB po. Next slide, please. Of course, we are all familiar with the RA 9163 or the NSTP Act of 2001. That's why we are all here. And noong 2009 naman po, the new implementing rules and guidelines was signed. But in the UPLB level, I would like to show you the organizational chart kung paano po namin, paano nabuo yung aming NSTP dito sa UPLB level. So, meron po kaming mga offices na involved sa NSTP implementation. So particularly po, of course, we are under the Office of the Chancellor and then the OBC, AA. And then we have the NSTP Director, which is working closely with the college coordinators po. And of course, yung ROTC coordinator, yung DMST namin dito sa UPLB. Okay. Next po. In 2011, can you please go back? Thank you. In 2011 po, nagkaroon ng decentralization. So ibinaba na nga po sa bawat kolehiyo yung pag-handle ng NSTP. And then itong 2021 lang po to cater the changes brought about by the pandemic. So nagkaroon din po kami ng revision sa aming internal guidelines. So last year lang po ito. Next po. And here are some of the modules that we are discussing, the common modules that we are discussing in NSTP 1. So ito po yung mga modules namin. These are the modules that we coordinated last year. So last 2020 po pala to. So last 2020 po ito, yung start ng pandemic. So doon na kami nag-umpisa na mag-organize ng mga online webinars. Next po. And this is specific for LTS, the Literacy Training Service. Ito po yung mga modules that we teach our students to be prepared doon sa project na gagawin nila, sa literacy project na gagawin nila. Next po. While these are the modules that we discuss with our students para naman sa CWATS po. So ito naman yung mga dinidiscuss namin bago namin dalhin sa community pre-pandemic po or gawin ng mga bata or prepare ng mga bata yung kanilang mga projects sa CWATS component. Next po. Okay, so for the project conceptualization, next slide please. Okay, so how do we conceptualize? Ito yung ito yung parang nagkakaroon talaga ng masusing pag-uusap. Sabi nga ni Sir Erwin kanina, dapat dito may brainstorming talaga na magaganap sa buong klase. Between the students, tapos between the faculty and the students para mag-come up sila ng magandang proyekto. So, una munang tanong, parang what are the resources? What can we deliver given the resources, given the limitations that we have? So, ito yung mga tipong kailangang realistic tayo dun sa katulad ng SMART kanina, dapat realistic tayo dun sa project na gagawin natin kasi tandaan natin na mga estudyante yung gagawa ng proyekto. So, mga estudyante na may iba't iba ding responsibility sa iba nilang klase, they can only allot some of their time para gawin yung proyekto, para pag-isipan yung proyekto, para i-implement yung proyekto. Who are our partners? So mahalaga din po ito. We cannot work alone. Okay? Klase tayo, isang grupo tayo. May 20 na students, may isang FIC, pero kailangan sa labas may partner ka din na community. So for example, here in UPLB, we closely work with UPLB Ugnayan ng Pahinungod. Also yung mga suki na namin, parang the partnerships that we made along the way po, yung mga kalapit namin na mga barangay, na mga bayan. So sila na yung lagi namin na napupuntahan every time na mag-implement kami ng mga proyekto or magko-conceptualize kami ng mga proyekto. Sila yung mga lagi namin na natatanong. For the Ugnayan ng Pahinungod, they have private companies na mga partners, LGU, NGO. So sa dami ng mga activities, mga need-based program na nagawa na ng Pahinungod, madali na kami magkaroon ng idea kung ano yung pwede pa naming maibigay sa mga community through our projects po. Then the question, nag-elaborate din kanina dito si Sir Erwin, is the project beneficial to the community? Okay, hindi tayo, araw-araw may gutom na tao, no? Pero ganun ba yung naiisip natin? Gusto ba natin ng short term or medyo long term na impact dun sa community? So sabi ni Sir, walang project na forever kasi o nga naman, hindi din maganda na forever yung project mo kasi ibig sabihin, wala kang natatapos. Di ba? Wala kang natatapos, wala kang na-achieve nun kung forever kang nandun sa project na yan. But if possible, hindi naman siguro masamang mangarap, if possible, the impact sa community nung project na gagawin mo is forever. So pwede naman yun kumbaga yung project na gagawin o naiisip mong gawin dun sa community, may impact talaga yun sa kanila. Meron talagang, may benefit talaga na makukuha yung mga community dun sa ibibigay nyo na proyekto sa kanila. Next po. So, sample and this. Siguro dito na lang ako mag-focus. Baka masagot na din ito yung isang tanong kanina sa chat. So, particularly in CWATS, we do training needs analysis po. So, training needs analysis, this one projected now. Ito po yung TNA na ginawa ng mga estudyante namin last pandemic po, two SEMs ago. So, naggawa sila ng questionnaire para malaman nila ano yung webinar. Webinar po kasi syempre hindi pa tayo pwedeng mag face-to-face. Ano yung topic ng webinar na sa tingin ng mga estudyante kailangan ng mga co-students nila. So nagtanong po sila via Google Form. Nagawa sila ng analysis via Google Form. Can we go back to the previous slide? Okay, so why do a TNA? So it identifies the gap between the current and required levels of knowledge, skills, practices, attitude, and aptitude or abilities. So dito natin malalaman ano yung kulang. Okay, ano yung kulang? Ano yung wala sila pero kailangan nila? It is a key step in preparing a training plan. So di tayo basta-basta susugod. Ay, tara, tayo dito, mag-operation tuli tayo dito o kaya mag-operation bunot ipin tayo dito. Hindi po ganun. Kailangan alamin muna natin ano yung kailangan. Kasi doon tayo magbabase how we are going to prepare the project. And the TNA is used in planning a training intervention in order to meet needs of the community. Next po. Okay, so this is my task to cite a project that we implemented here in the college. So this is the last project po na nagawa ko pre-pandemic kasi nung second sem 1920 doon na po nag-start yung pandemic. So ito yung huling face-to-face project na ginawa po namin dito sa klase. Next po. So this is about the silk screen printing or rubber printing po na ginawa namin sa Putho, Los Baños, Laguna. So sino po ang mga participants namin? Sino ang beneficiaries namin? Next slide. Ito po, yung mga residente ng barangay Tuntungin Putho dito sa LB. So ito po yung mga neighbor communities po namin. Because of the limitation, syempre, hindi naman mahaba yung time din to prepare. So dito lang po kami sa mga malalapit, madaling puntahan, madaling i-coordinate, nagkagawa ng mga projects po namin. Then who is in next po? What? So ano po yung bakit namin na-desisyonan na yung itong silk screen printing o rubber printing po? Sige po. Next po. So, ito yung the silk screen rubberized shirt training workshop aims to give skills, to develop the skills of the residents in doing rubberized or silk screen printing. So, bakit po namin yan napili? Next slide po. The venture was decided. Bakit kailangan? The venture was decided upon the suggestion of the community head. So, nung nagawa po kami ng training needs analysis via key informant po. So, nag-interview kami, key informant interview, na ang mga na-interview namin ay yung mga officials ng barangay. Ito po yung sinabi nila na gusto nilang gawin sa kanilang community. So, gusto nila na magkaroon ng extra income yung mga residente kasi magpiprint ang mga uniform. So, malaking tulong daw po sa kanila kung matututunan nila paano gawin yung rubberized shirt saka silk screen printing. So it introduced and familiarized the participants in t-shirt printing, provided basic and useful knowledge that serve as foundation po. Kapag mga basic alam na nila, so madali na silang matututo pa ng medyo mas complicated na mga proseso sa silk screen or rubberized shirt printing. And also, yung means ng livelihood po, another option ng pagkakakitaan ng mga residente ng Putho, Tuntungin. Next po. So aside from the training po, so yung mga ginamit namin na mga equipment, yung mga materials po, dinonate na din po ng klase sa Tuntungin Putho para may mapag-umpisahan na po sila. Paano po ginawa ng klase ito? Next po. Ayan, so may training needs analysis po na ginawa via key informant interview. So kinausap po namin yung mga officials, anong kailangan nila. Doon namin na desisyonan na ito yung training na ibibigay. Nagawa po ng training design yung mga bata. Same po nung pinakita ni Sir Erwin kanina, medyo mas simplified lang po kasi sa training design may rationale, objective, bakit yun yung napili na training or project, yung activity design, methodology, timeline, syempre dapat katulad nung discussion kanina, dapat alam natin kung yung start saka yung end ng isang project. Of course, budget. May mga pagkakataon na kailangan maglabas ng pera. So, kailangan naka-detalyado din yan dun sa ating training design and expected outputs. Para after the training, we will check kung na-meet ba natin yung mga inaasahan natin na outputs ng proyekto. So, ito po yung parang naging step-by-step na procedures namin. So, bigyan naman ako ng emphasis kanina sa TNAs and then sa conceptualization part. Pero after the TNA, we did the training design. Nag-submit po yung mga bata ng training design and then nag-create ng mga working committees Because mahirap po kapag labo-labo yung trabaho. Dapat may isang grupo nakafocus dito sa program, dito sa food, halimbawa, dito sa logistics, para organize po yung ating training. And then, of course, they did preparatory meetings para dun sa training. Then, nagkaroon ng initial demo. Yung mga bata, nag-train din sila. Yung mga estudyante, train din sila ng aming resource person para sila mismo, pag kinakailangan, ititrain din po nila yung mga residente. Kasi isang RP lang po yung na-hire namin that time. So, yung mga bata, dapat maalam din sila para ma-assist nila yung RP at matutulungan din nila yung mga residente ng tuntungin puto. Then, after that, syempre, preparation for the training, and then yung actual na training. And after that, the students submitted po yung completion, assessment and training and completion report. For the succeeding trainings na mas may improve pa, given the evaluation of that training. Next po. Okay, so yan po yung ilang mga pictures nung aming rubberized t-shirt silk screen printing. So the two upper pictures, sila po yung mga estudyante namin na nagka-prepare for the training, and then ito na po sa baba, the actual training na po doon sa barangay. Next po. Okay, so yan, pre-pandemic, yan po yung mga ginagawa natin. Kaya pa nating mag face-to-face, walang mask, so yan po yung mga proyekto na nagawa namin. Ito po, ito yung sa rubberized shirt printing. Ito naman yung sa sample ng project na ginawa for LTS po. Pumupunta sa mga elementary school, yung mga estudyante para magturo ng mga bata. Next po. But during pandemic, so syempre limited na yung galaw natin, yung interaction natin face-to-face. So ang ginawa na lang po namin noon, yun nga, naggawa kami ng mga webinars, online webinars na nag-invite kami ng mga audience, depende sa need nila, yun yung magiging topic namin. And then nag-invite kami syempre ng RP na reachable dun sa topic na i-discuss. So ito po ito yung sa sample ng LTS. Hindi makakalabas yung mga bata at that time 2020. So ang ginawa namin, kung sino lang yung mga pwede nilang i-tutor o turuan sa bahay nila, mga pinsan nila, kapatid nila, yun yung ginawa nila ng proyekto, ng plano, kung paano sila makakapag-deliver ng literacy service. Yan po yung sample, may timeline din sila na ginagawa. Saka yung pinaka-method na ginawa nila to achieve yung goal nila. Next po. So yan naman po yung sample ng online webinar for the CWAT. So noong 2020, talagang sinabi ng mga bata, ng mga estudyante na kailangan nila ng webinar about stress management, about anxiety, coping with anxiety, mindfulness. So we invited po itong si Dr. Billones from US pa po ito para magbigay ng talk sa aming mga estudyante. So yan po, nakapag-organize din kami ng proyekto through a webinar. Next po. Okay, so yun lang po yung mga share ko po this afternoon, and later if you have questions, we can still address your concerns. So thank you po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Lali, no? It's really, I mean, the project managers are really crucial when there are transition periods like the pandemic po. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and also for sharing your projects. Maybe we can draw inspiration from those two. To present our to thank you, ma'am, we would like to present our second speaker, Dr. Rosalie C. Mendoza, our certificate of appreciation. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we will have you again later to answer some questions from our participants. Thank you, Dr. Mendoza.
Thank you.
Thank you so much po. Again, a reminder to our participants on Zoom and YouTube Live, If you have any questions or comments about the presentations, you can use the chat box on YouTube or question and answer button here on Zoom. Now we shall go to our third presenter. Our next speaker will be from UP Diliman, Department of Military Science and Tactics, or DMST. He is Second Lieutenant Elmar John Aniciete, and he is the Assistant NSTP ROTC Coordinator of DMST. He completed the Advanced ROTC course in 2015 and BS Economics in 2016, both from UP Diliman. As a reservist, he received various awards from the AFP, such as the Disaster Relief and Rehabilitation Operation Ribbon, the Parangal sa Kapanalig ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas Medal, and the Military Civic Action Medal. Unfortunately, Sir Elmar cannot join our webinar today. However, we can still watch his presentation. So please lend your ears and your eyes to the video that Sir Elmar has prepared for us. Let's all watch this.
Good day to all the viewers and listeners of this webinar. I am Second Lieutenant Elmar Aniciete, the Assistant NSTP ROTC Coordinator of the Department of Military Science and Tactics in UP Diliman. And I am here to share with you the project conceptualization process in ROTC. In UP ROTC, we call our project conceptualization process as military planning. The projects we take or embark, we call them missions. In planning our missions, we are guided by the 6 P's of planning, which is prior planning and preparation prevents poor performance. Let us define first what is planning. So planning is the process through which a commander, or in this case, the project leader, visualizes a desired objective, develops practical strategies for reaching it, and conveys to his subordinates his vision, intent, and choices while concentrating on the outcomes he expects to see. The outcome of a planning is a plan or order that fosters mission command by clearly conveying the commander's intent, asking tasks and purposes to subordinates, or rather assign tasks and purposes to subordinates, contain the minimum coordinating measures necessary to synchronize the operation, allocates or reallocates resources, and a plan or order that directs preparation activities and establishes times or conditions for execution. We must remember that any plan is a framework from which to adapt. It is not a script to be followed to the letter. In planning, we are guided by the following fundamentals as shown in the slides. So they are the following fundamentals of planning. First, the commander's focus planning. Second is planning is continuous. Third, planning is time sensitive. Fourth, keep plans simple. Fifth, build flexible plans. And sixth, design bold plans. So first, I will discuss the first fundamental of planning. So the first fundamental is commander's focus planning. The commander is the party that matters most in successful planning. The planning process is disciplined by commanders to adhere to the demands of time, planning horizons, simplicity, and amount of detail. In general, staffs can prepare more quickly the more involved commanders are in the process. Commanders make sure the strategy accurately reflects their commander's goal by being personally involved. We must remember also that the term commander here is also synonymous to the project leader. The second fundamental is planning is continuous. Planning doesn't end with the creation of a plan or an order. It is an ongoing and flexible process. Plans are modified as time permits because circumstances or the information available about them are always changing. Throughout the course of operations, planning is done. Plans are modified throughout preparations based on fresh knowledge. The third fundamental is planning is time sensitive. Time is an important consideration in planning. All planning, whether intentional or hurried, demands precise situational comprehension and efficient use of time. Greater synchronization frequently arises from longer planning process, but it also implies that subordinates have less time to plan and get ready. Commanders do not demand excellent results when time is limited. They accept only the best possible products. The best products is in time-constrained settings are those that provide just enough information to make a considered choice and provide subordinates enough time to swiftly assess and issue from their point of view and plan, prepare, and carry out the required activities. The fourth fundamental is keep plans simple. Effective planning requires simplicity. Simple and direct ideas and commands are effective. A simple operational concept is necessary for simple planning. Plans can be simple without being simplistic. Simplistic describes something that has been oversimplified by neglecting how complex the situation is. Good plans make complicated situations simpler. Because they are simpler to comprehend and carry out, simple plans are preferred. The fifth fundamental is build flexible plans. Units can swiftly adjust to a range of scenarios with the help of flexible plans. By foreseeing outcomes that enable them to act within the situation, planners incorporate opportunities for initiative into their plans. Building adaptable plans is aided by locating decision points, planning branches and sequels in advance, and having a clear commander's goal. Including risk mitigation strategies in a plan also increases flexibility. Commanders emphasize the value of mission orders as a tool to create adaptable strategies. Mission directives don't specify how to perform tasks. Instead, they concentrate on what must be done and why it has to be done. The last fundamental of planning is design bold plans. Plans created by commanders are bold and innovative and yield certain outcomes. Bold plans push the boundaries of what is typically thought or done. A bold idea is not a hasty plan. Commanders need to know when to take calculated risk and where to do so. To summarize what I have discussed, project conceptualization is called military planning in UP ROTC. In conducting our planning, we are guided by the 6 fundamentals of planning. These fundamentals of planning will help us in preparing properly for the project or the mission, and it will help us in preventing poor performance. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you so much for that talk. For me, what I got from Second Lieutenant Elmar John Aniciete was planning should be simple, flexible, and should be given enough time. And in ROTC, they call it military planning, but we can also use those concepts when managing a project or creating a project proposal. Once again, thank you very much again to all our speakers. Sir Erwin Donavan Ong from Nokia, Dr. Mendoza from UPLB, and Second Lieutenant Aniciete from UP Diliman DMST. Let us now invite them back for the question and answer. We will be reading first the questions sent by our participants through Zoom registration and later from the Zoom and YouTube chat box. Okay. Hello again, Sir Ong and Ma'am Lali.
Hi po.
Ayun po. I will now read questions from our registration. Please hold for a bit. Okay. First question, activities or community service we can propose and realize in the current situation that promotes 21st century skills. Do you have projects that can give assistance to the teachers? So if the person who asked this in the registration is here, maybe we can also spotlight the person so he can expound on it. Okay. Are you here? So Sir Erwin or Ma'am Lali, can you answer that po muna kung wala pa masyadong explanation yung context ng question? What are some of the community service that we can propose and realize in the current situation that promotes 21st century skills? First of all, paano po kaya yung tinutukan yung first century skills? Do you have any idea of those po? Anyone can answer po right now?
Okay, sige po.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Thank you, Ma'am Lali.
actually ginugal ko din yung 21st century skills. So, critical thinking, citizenship, which is talaga namang yun yung target talaga ng NSTP, citizenship, growth, mindset, creativity, communication, collaboration. So, yun yung sinasabi siguro ni Ma'am or Sir na anong mga projects ang mas makakapag-intensify ng mga skills na yun ng ating mga estudyante. I think hindi lang sa NSTP pwedeng ma-improve yung mga skills na yun. And given that our students nowadays, they are really tech savvy. As in, magugulat na lang ako sa mga kayang gawin ng mga bata. So in terms of creativity, I think no question na yan. Talagang napaka-creative ng mga estudyante natin. Of course, sa citizenship, hindi naman yung ini-instill natin sa kanila sa NSTP. Pero siguro yung how they will interact with his or her classmates, with the class, with the group, how they will express themselves. Siguro dun sa conceptualization pa lang kaya na nating ma-enhance yung mga skills and mga 21st century skills na gusto nating improve pa sa mga bata. And along the way, habang nagko-conceptualize sila, habang ini-implement nila yung proyekto, mas may improve pa po yung mga skills na yun. But for a specific project, siguro yung paggawa ng mga webinars nowadays, lalo na kasi syempre when we work online, nabasa ko dun sa YouTube, and yung natutunan din maging flexible ng mga tao because of the pandemic. So, kumbaga madami pa tayong mga values or skills na natututunan habang nag-aaral tayo ng NSTP. Kahit na wala tayong specific na project na na tinututukan. So, yun po, Sir Erwin, may dadagdag ka po?
Yes po. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. So sa akin, two things ang nakita ko. For the soft skills, tama si Ma'am, Basically, in my PhD program, inaral namin yung mga kailangan na skills for the 21st century, soft skills. No? So kung meron man kayong train them with soft skills. Alam niyo ba guys, usually, pag sobrang talino natin, mataas yung IQ natin, madali tayong umangat sa career eh. Pero kung gusto pa nating mas umangat pa, importante yung soft skills. Kasi pwedeng sobrang galing mo eh. Example na lang sobrang galing mong programmer eh. Aabot ka sa certain point kasi ang galing mo eh. Pero if you don't know how to deal with people, you don't know how to communicate, you don't have high emotional intelligence, you don't know how to persuade others, hindi ka aangat pa. Hanggang doon ka lang sa level na yun. So, number 1, soft skills. Kung meron kayong mga iti-train, soft skills. No? If you need any materials, meron ako from PhD and I would love to help na kung meron man. And second is technology. So dalawang request ko kung meron, soft skills and technology. Bakit technology? Gusto ko i-share sa inyo yung buhay dito sa Poland. No? Iba dito, imagine niyo kahapon guys, excuse me, mag-iiwan kami ng luggage kasi maaga kami nag-check out sa hotel. Mag-iiwan kami ng luggage kasi yung train pa namin 4:00. Diba? Sa atin, ang iwanan ng luggage, iiwan mo may i-receive sa counter, 'di ba? Tapos anong tawag dito? Bibigyan ka ng stub, babayad ka and then later ki-claim mo. Right? Dito hindi guys eh. Walang tao. I-scan mo yung QR code, i-chat sa'yo yung PIN, lalagay mo yung PIN. Pagdating doon, ilalagay mo yung luggage size mo, may computer, ilalagay mo yung luggage size mo. Tapos i-enter mo, magbabayad ka. Ang bayaran dito guys, alam niyo ba bayaran dito? Hindi na uso cash. Kaya nagulat ako nung nag-Poland ako, sabi ko wala akong cash. Hindi ako nakapagpalit ng pera. Hindi mo kailangan ng cash. Bakit? Kasi credit card. Tapos yung Apple Pay tinatap na lang. Technology. Itatap mo doon, bayad na. Bubukas kusa yung pintuan. Ilalagay mo doon luggage mo, ilalak mo. Ganun kadali. Example guys, Shopee delivery. I know na-experience niyo yung Shopee delivery na, ay wala ako sa bahay. 'Di ba? Nandiyan na yung deliver. Pero dito guys, technology hindi din. Meron silang common area na ilalagay mo doon yung cellphone number mo tsaka yung PIN. And then bubukas yung pintuan, nandun yung delivery mo. Pag hindi mo nakiklaim, marami silang ganong spot. So, walang tao, mas less yung kailangan sa tao, mas maraming technology. And nakikita ko guys, being in tech company and I've been consulting other company, tech is very important. Ang kulang natin, maraming taong hindi marunong gumamit nito, nahihirapan gumamit sa app, hindi computer literacy very low or ano. So for me, two things na kung meron mang 21st century technology, kasi for me na feel ko kung gaano tayo medyo napag-iwanan. Sorry gusto ko lang i-share yon na nakita ko yung difference. Living here, nakita ko yung difference. So first is technology talaga. Second, soft skills. So kung meron man tayong kailangan, yun yung dalawa sa akin. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering that question. Now, let's go to the next one. Can the 3 components, CWTS, LTS, and ROTC merge to a certain project to be proposed? May nagawa na po bang ganun dati? And how does it look like po? Sino po ang gusto mauna sa inyo?
Sige po.
Okay po, ma'am.
Actually, nung nabasa ko yung question na yan, parang oo nga no. Kasi hindi pa namin siya ginagawa. Hindi pa namin siya ginawa dito. Talagang separate. Sa amin, sa college, separate yung project ng LTS, separate yung project ng CWATS. Pero, pwede pala siya. Ay, naisip ko lang habang pinasa sa atin yung project. For example, may community tayo na magkagawa ng mga creative na mga learning objects that the students can use sa literacy project naman. So community na magkagawa, magde-design ng mga learning objects that they can sell, for example, tapos magagamit din naman ng mga estudyante ng LTS at yung mga beneficiaries nila. So yun po. But for the ROTC, wala pa talaga kami na yung interrelated na mga projects po with them. So yun po.
Okay po, thank you, Ma'am Lali. Sir Erwin, have you experienced something like that? Parang synergy ng tatlo, LTS,
Naku,
UATS, and
sorry,
ROTC?
wala akong idea on that aspect, yes. On combination for those three.
Okay po, pero based on Ma'am Lali's answer, no, yes, it is possible to have a combined project. Okay, let's now go to the third question. Can we include a project proposal? Let me check this. Project proposal conceptualization as an extension activity of the department. So I'm not really sure what this means. Again, if the person who asked this is actually here, maybe you can expound on it. Can we include project proposal to the extension activities of the department? So the person who asked that was Sir Mark Anthony. Is Mark Anthony here? Ayun, naka-raise siya ng hand. Can we pin Sir Mark so he can expound on the question? He's raising his hand.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our speakers. I am Mark Fernandez from GR Misio Dipolo Campus, the NSTP unit head. I would like to ask if it is possible to conduct NSTP projects through the Office of Extension Services, because last year there was a call for proposals for extension projects conducted by the Office of the Extension Services. And since that the NSTP office is planning for a tree planting activity, so I decided to have an extension proposal using the NSTP projects, which is a tree planting activity. So is it considerable, or
Can I answer? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes po, it is valid, it is feasible po. Yung extension office nyo, yung parang ito po siguro yung ugnayan ng pahinungot namin dito sa UPLB na focus on public service and volunteerism. So, yung extension office niyo po pwedeng makipag-partner sa NSTP para mag-work together po kayo sa mga extension projects for the communities.
yes po, kibali po kami po yung makikipag-partner sa extension, kasi yung extension under po siya sa Office of Research and Extension Services.
Okay, so bukod po pala yun. Pwede naman po, sir. O kaya, kung gusto niyo naman pong mag-work na kayo, hingin niyo na lang po yung mga contacts nila, yung mga community nila na laging pinupuntahan. At yun naman po yung assess niyo kung ano pa yung mga projects na pwede niyong ibigay sa kanila.
Kasi usually po sa mga state universities and colleges, yung extension services is very important because aside from we can extend help to our community, maka-earn din po kami ng yung points para po sa promotion.
Yes, sir.
So through NSTP projects, kung para magamit din namin yung hindi po masayang yung effort namin, idadaan po namin sa extension para dalawa po yung namin yung silbi, yung tama namin. Kapag NSTP project kami, at the same time, meron na din kaming extension services.
Apo, that will be also dependent sa mandate po ng extension office niyo po. So I think you better check po kung papasa yung mga projects na iniisip natin, and then if yes po, then parang 2 birds with 1 stone po yung ating nagawa, di ba? So pero pwede po yun yung mga tree planting activities niyo kung okay po sa extension service.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Welcome po.
Thank you, Sir Mark Anthony, for participating in our webinar. Thank you, Ms. Lali, for answering the question. Now, there's another question from Professor Bakulna of the University of Antique for our speaker, Sir Erwin Ong. So, sir, would you require a needs assessment of the community before preparing a project proposal? We have to be sure the proposal addresses the needs. Do you have more thoughts on that?
Po. I answered that, Miss Faith. So sabi ko, the need assessment is actually covered in step 1. So the background of the problem is in depth. It's not just a high 1 or 2 level about background, but rather when we talk about background of the problem, we will also share much more information that is detailed, yes, for it.
Okay, thank you, sir. And another from Vic Marie Bornilio from BIPSU. It says, hello po, maayong hapon. I would like to ask if pwede po ba as an initial plan to propose a project on tour guiding, since my CWTS students are enrolled in BS in hospitality/tourism management programs, considering also that our place here in Biliran province has many tourist attractions. However, residents near those attractions have less to no tour guiding skills. Thank you po sa mga speakers for sharing integral inputs. Who wants to go first po to answer this? Miss Lali?
Yes po, definitely. Napakagandang proyekto po nun na kung ano yung kulang, sabi nga dun sa needs assessment na binanggit kanina, kung ano yung gap, kung kayang i-provide ng inyong CWATS class ay malaking bagay po yun sa community. So definitely 2 thumbs up po doon sa proyekto na yun. Pero ano lang yung mga alert level naisip ko lang yung sa ngayong time ng pandemic po habang hindi pa masyadong normal ang lahat. So tingnan nyo lang din po yung sa interaction nyo, physical activities nyo, kung okay po doon sa inyong municipality. Ayan po. But the concept is a great concept po, yung initial plan for the project.
Okay po. Again, we would like to remind our participants that if you have questions for project proposals, you can still send them in. We still have a little bit of time for that. Okay. Habang wala pang pumapasok, pwede po ba akong magtanong for a project? So, I'm getting this opportunity na rin po para to ask Sir Erwin and Ma'am Lali. So we used to have a feeding program for university students from pre-pandemic, and now we are trying to revive it during the pandemic. So how do you think can we convince our stakeholders like our donors and sponsors na magbigay sila ulit for this project, knowing that less students are in the universities right now. A lot of students are still at home doing online classes.
Okay. So, yeah, for me, I'm thinking, first things first, I think yung feeding program, hindi siya pwede gawing online. No? Hindi kayo mabubusog. No? Kasi pwede ko kayong padala ng lechon. Bahala kayo. Kidding aside, no? Kidding aside, I think ang pwede niyong gawin is to still highlight the needs. No? Bakit? Kasi the pandemic doesn't stop hunger. 'Di ba? Hindi ibig sabihin nagkaroon ng pandemic, wala nang nagugutom. It's still there. We know there's a need. The problem is people are not going to school. No, maybe our approach or solution could be different. Like I don't know, we can buy bulk of fruits, vegetables, whatever, and then we can decide na it will be shipped no, sa bahay. Maybe instead of cook something raw, I think it would be best still to gather data kasi we show them the facts na ito yung mga finifeed namin, and still right now we're fighting with this problem with hunger. And then from there, we can come up, we can be innovative. Of course, we have limited budget for sure. Hindi ka pwede magpa-deliver ng Chicken Joy araw-araw, no? I mean, all we can do is we have limited budget. So we can, for me, I was thinking if I'm the project manager there, I'm assigned to feeding program, maybe I will the situation now is a little bit better than last year kasi medyo nagkakaroon na ng face-to-face. So medyo mas strengthen nyo. Pero kung last year or may mga places pa rin na super duper strict, maybe the option would only be, raw food, fresh veggies, fruits, we deliver it to them. And then we deliver it to them during a certain period of time, and then those who can, we're setting up or pwede rin we have a scheduled feeding program. Kung dati isang araw lang we're feeding 300 people, baka pwede natin gawing MWF, tagwa 100 sila para crowd control, mas maayos. So there are maybe we can have innovative approaches on how we can reach out to them, still provide their needs kasi for sure people are still hungry. Those people who are in need of our help are still needing it at this time. Yun po sa akin.
Thank you po. Yeah, I really think we have to tweak some aspects of the project. Do you want to add something on that, Ma'am Lali? Or should we go to the next question po? Okay po. Next question again from Mr. Mark Anthony. Additional question po, can you give us an idea or recommend projects with sustainability? So, ano po kaya yung mga sustainable projects? Yun po ba yung ibig sabihin ng tanong na to? Or how can we make a project sustainable? I think that's the better way to phrase it.
Yeah, I think if the project can be continued by the succeeding classes and the benefits will still be received by the community. So I think meron yung sustainability aspect. So for example, meron po dito na nag-project ng, though yung mga simple lang naman, no, kasi syempre mga estudyante naman tong mga natin, main stakeholder natin na naggagawa ng proyekto. So nagawa ng parang garden, parang may community garden na nakakapag-harvest yung isang barangay. So if they can sustain, kumbaga yung naumpisahan ng klase na to, pwedeng ituloy nung susunod na klase in coordination with the same community po. So yung sustainable yung isang proyekto. Simple example po ng proyekto with continuity saka sustainable din po. Total usapang pagkain din tayo. So, yun. So everybody needs food. So kung masusustain yun, maitutuloy ng mabuti, hindi mawawala yung impact ng proyekto.
Okay po. Sir Erwin, do you want to add?
Yes, sa akin for sustainability, no. I think kung sustainability in a sense na gusto natin yung kunyari feeding program nga, maybe it's not just about giving them fish to eat. It's about teaching them how to fish, no? So maybe meron tayong project na dalawang aspect yung tinitingnan. Training them, guiding them in such a way na they'll be able to stand up on their own. Kasi imagine niyo guys, I'm just trying to visualize. We want to fight hunger, kunyari. We want to end hunger. Wala nang taong namamatay because of gutom. No? So, pag papakainin lang natin sila ng papakainin, we didn't build the system. We're just giving them the solution for the time being. But we figure out a way, marami kasi yun eh, if we figure out a way to come up with a project na sustainable siya, in a sense na they can stand up on their own, we're slowly leveling up, no? Yung mga aspect na yun, hindi na at some point hindi na natin kailangan ng feeding program here because they're already okay. 'Di ba? Kaysa sa paulit-ulit lang tayo feeding program, we can help them pero we're not actually helping them in the long run. So yun yung naisip ko, no. yun yung naisip ko for me, no? So para ang inaayos natin ay hindi lang yung symptoms, kundi inaayos natin yung buong process. Yan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now let's go to Sir Marlon's question. Sir
Ayun.
Marlon, are
Yes,
you
good
here?
afternoon
Yeah.
po.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me? Klaro ba
I
mo?
can hear you po.
Sir?
Yes po.
Malayo si
Yes,
sir,
yes.
nasa pulan.
Yes, malinaw naman po, malinaw.
Yes po. Magandang good afternoon po. Ang kuwan ko lang ma'am, parang follow up na rin po ito kay Sir Mark. Kasi ang itatanong ko ma'am, yung sino bang nagpe-finance ma'am sa mga project proposals ma'am? Example, yung sa printing ninyo po. Maganda po yun. O paano yun? Because I have that also in my mind. However, ang isa ko lang na kuan din is how to sustain that. Kasi may ganito kasi ma'am, ano, ang isang hindrance kasi natin, whatever, kahit pa maganda yung naisip nating proyekto, pero isang taon lang kasi yung mga estudyante natin, hindi na natin sila hawak sa pagdating ng second year nila. Di ba? No, so parang ganyan ba? Kaya nga yung question on sustainability, parang nagkaroon talaga diyan ng parang gap, ano? So siguro kaya paano ma'am ano sino bang nagfi-finance? Pangalawa, diretso-diretsuhin ko na lang ma'am para tuloy-tuloy na ma'am. Pangalawa ma'am, ilang enrollee ang UPLB NSTP? Ilan po kayo? Oh, tapos pangatlo ma'am, curious lang ako ma'am kasi Panganod, very nice word. It's a very nice word, Panganod. I speak Cebuano. I also speak Waray. Yeah, so I just curious, why Panganod? Kaya anong Panganod man? Thank you. Yun lang po ma'am. Salamat po.
Sige po. Ma'am Rosalie, kaya niyo po ba sagutin yung bakit Panganod?
1 and 2.
Okay, 1 and 2. Try ko po sagutin yung 3 or si Sir Dennis po yung magsagot ng 3.
Sige po. Actually, tanong ko din yung 3 ni Sir Marlon. So, sir, yung una niyo pong tanong, sino nag-finance? And then yung question ulit ng sustainability. Naisip ko lang din kung if we will have a long-term partnership, halimbawa yung college niyo, may long-term partnership dito sa community o sa barangay na to. Hi po, sir. Nice to see you po. Ayan. So, pwede na maybe they can also parang shoulder some of the expenses po doon sa proyekto ng NSTP sa kanilang lugar kasi sila din naman po yung beneficiary. Pero sa case po namin, when we did the tablerized t-shirt printing and silk screen printing po, we look for sponsors. So hindi po namin parang nag-fundraising po yung mga estudyante. Not necessarily sila po yung naglabas ng pera. They did fundraising. Nagbenta sila ng mga lunch, sir. Nagbenta sila ng mga nakapack lunch. Tapos naghanap po kami, nag-solicit po kami sa mga organizations. Kaya po nakapag-ipon po kami ng parang less than 20,000 din po yung naipon po namin for that. Kasi pinakain din po namin yung mga participants that time eh. So yun po, sir. Maganda na may partnership with community long term kasi sabi nyo nga kanina, 1 taon lang. Ibang estudyante na naman yung hawak natin. Pero kung may parang adapt a community na tayo na parang aspect. Okay, kayo po lagi pero baka po pwedeng makihati sa pondo nyo for a year na ito po yung mga proyekto ng NSTP namin. So baka po pwede nyo kami matulungan to finance it. Next po, question ay ilan? Okay, so ngayon po remote learning, sir, NSTP 1 and 2, maximum po kami ng 20 to 30 po.
1,000, ma'am?
Per section po.
Per section?
Apo,
okay.
Ay, sorry, sir. Estudyante.
Yung enrolled na students, ma'am,
okay, kung estudyante, sir, halimbawa lang na regular po sila, kinukuha nila ng first year nila yung NSTP. Ang NSTP 1 po namin offered every second sem. NSTP 1 po, every second sem, sir. So, hindi po kami yung NSTP 1 first sem, NSTP 2 second sem.
Oh, other way.
Yeah, baliktad po kami because yung time po ng literacy training service, tinatimingan po namin yung mga may estudyante pa sa school.
You're
Kaya,
offering 3 components, ma'am?
po?
3 components ino-offer ninyo?
Yes, sir.
I
CWAT,
see.
ROTC po.
Pero yung 9163, ma'am, di ba, bawat SUC, at least 2. Pero pwede rin siguro 3, ano? So, okay man, ginagawa niyo rin naman. Maganda naman yung, oo. Okay. So, depende lang talaga siguro sa school, ano, kung ano yung parang, nasa HEI pa rin.
Pero sir, kung estudyante po ay medyo madami-dami po, thousands din po yung mga estudyante natin.
2,000 kayo, ma'am, ganyan.
So kung ngayon po, hindi lang po ako nag-handle ngayon ng NSTP, pero ang estudyante kasi namin halimbawa ng first year ay nasa 2,000 plus.
Oh.
2,000 plus. So kung lahat yung take ng NSTP 1, for example, o ngayon 2, yung mga nakatapos na ng NSTP 1, kasi first sem ngayon, so mga 2,000 plus po yung mga estudyante.
Okay.
Pero per section po ayun, mga 20 to 30.
Parang nag-benchmark na rin ako, ma'am, because last October not October, last September 24 we're supposed to visit UP Manila, pero Sabado man yun, ma'am. Sirado pala ang UP Manila. Pero nag-benchmark din kasi kami ba. Tinatanong ko lang yung number of enrollee, ma'am, kasi ang sa amin kasi sa aming school, we are to submit a program of expenditure. Kasi yung sa amin, honorarium kasi yung style namin dito. Ay yung ibang school, honorarium din, pero yung TUP, kuha nata sa kanila, parang part-time. Oo, pero hindi naman malakihan, ma'am, yung sa amin. Yung tama rin lang, parang kung ilan yung number of students, kaya nga yung sa amin yung parang bawat college na coordinator more or less marami yung sa amin, no? 100 students, parang ganyan. Oh. Yeah, anyway, salamat din po. At least UP pa rin yung kausap namin. Parang nakapag-kuha na rin, parang nakapag-benchmark na rin po. Yeah, thank you.
Okay po.
Thank you, Sir Dennis.
Sir
Dennis, thank you din pala for inviting me. I thankful ako sa UP, ha. Thank you. I do not know UP people, though my son graduated in UP Diliman, pero Sir Dennis nagpadala sa Gmail ko, kaya nga nakapasok ako dito. Salamat po, ma'am. This is an opportunity.
Sir Marlon.
Oh,
sir,
salamat.
ang Panganod, sir, kay gikan na siya sa galing po siya sa according to the team po. Ito po, our idea is that pagdating po sa project conceptualization, sky's the limit po. Kaya po holism ng clouds, pati po dun sa may pangangailangan po, sabi ni idea po to ni Sir Anthony, yung kapag kapag nag-brainstorming po, pinapakita po usually na represented siya by cloud. So papasalamatan ko rin po yung Team NSTP for organizing the webinars here, sir, led by Sir Anton po. Kaya yun po yung idea ng Sir Marlon. So we're trying to get words from the Philippine language po to celebrate it as well para po sa mga proyekto natin sa NSTP Diliman. So yun po, Sir Marlon. So salamat kayo po kayo napod.
Oh, ma'am. Ako yung magpasalamat, Sir Dili. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Kontento ko, sir. Kontento ko, sir.
Thank you so much po, Sir Marlon, for asking questions and for sharing what happens in your university sa NSTP ninyo po, no? So, I know that other participants also have other questions, but for now, that's all the time that we have with our speakers, Sir Erwin and Ma'am Lag and Sir Dennis kanina. So, thank you so much again po sa ating presenters. Now, let me request Sir Erwin and Miss Rosalie, sayang po, hindi po natin kasama isa pa nating presenter, for a photo op. Okay, who will take the photo? Sila Sir Anton na po ba ito? Okay po. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we will ask everyone, lahat po ng mga kasama natin dito sa ating Zoom, to open their cameras if you are able, and then we will take photos. Okay, Sir Anthony, okay na ba tayo? Okay, nakabukas na ba lahat? Let's check. Okay. Okay, yan. Marami nang nakabukas ng camera. 3 more seconds para mabuksan nila. Kasi gusto natin naman meron tayong souvenir for the first part of our webinar series. Okay? Okay, 3.
First page po tayo.
Yes.
Show your biggest smile.
Okay.
Okay,
Turn on your
second
cameras,
page po.
guys.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile.
Alright.
Okay, thank you
Third
so
page po.
much. Third page. Hanggang
3
4
out of
pages ba
4.
ito?
Yes.
Okay. Third page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Third page. Fourth page na tayo. Ang dami po pala nating participants. We have right now 87 participants in our Zoom call and more people in our YouTube live. Okay,
Yung
fourth
iba hindi
page.
pa nagbubukas ng camera nila. Bilis na para
Huwag na po kayong
magkakilala
mahiya.
tayo.
Opo.
Huwag na kayong
Tsaka,
mahiya.
is this required po, Sir Dennis, for their certification?
Hindi
That's
ko masabi.
required.
Okay.
Pwede
Okay na
next
po ba
time.
yung fourth page?
Tagaan din yung certificate, sir?
Okay.
O, sir.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much po for your time. We
Salamat
have
kayo sa tanan.
Yes. We have a few reminders. First of all, for those who missed or would like to revisit today's session, you can watch it on NSTP Diliman Office's official YouTube channel. Just search for NSTP Diliman on YouTube. Also, we are inviting you to attend the second part of this webinar series. Sabi nga ni Sir Erwin kanina, ano to, para tong K-drama, meron tong season. We will have
hanggang
the
season
next
3. Huwag niyo
hanggang
kaming
season
iwan.
3. Yung second season
Tapusin po
natin.
buong season.
Yes po. November 7 at 1 p.m. And we will be using the same Zoom meeting room ID and password to attend OBRA. We are calling that OBRA. OBRA Project Implementation Webinar. Students are encouraged to attend the webinar via YouTube. Ayan po, ang speakers po natin for that are Sir Erwin, Donavan, Assistant Professor Olivia Almasikam, and Professor Nathaniel Samson. Again, that's 1 p.m. on November 7. In addition, you are also welcome to attend the second part of Bayanihan, which is Kahandaan or Disaster Risk Reduction Management on, when is this?
7.
October 10, 2 p.m. For those who haven't registered yet, please refer to the picture on your screens or register through the link. And lastly, please don't forget to accomplish the evaluation form for the certificates. The link is on the screen and on the chat box. That is https://bit.ly/Panganod evaluation. The evaluation form is only open until 5 p.m. tomorrow, October 4. So please don't forget to answer the form. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for everyone who spent almost 2 or 3 hours with us. And see you soon. See you on November 7. Again, this is Faith Navarro officially signing off. See you next week for the second leg of Balangkas NSTP Project Management Webinar Series. Congratulations to
Hindi naman tumatanggap, Faith.
Thanks, Faith.
Hindi pa daw po tumatanggap. Tama po ba? ayusin na lang po natin. To refresh the link po if it's not opening right now. Have a good rest of the day.
Okay. Thank you po sa inyo. In Polish, goodbye, do widzenia. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.
So much po,
Ma'am
Sir
Rosalie, thank
Sally,
you.
Sir
Thank you.
Erwin.
Sir Erwin, thank you.
Bye-bye
Sir
po.
Aton, thank you sa team. Salamat.
The eval form is not accepting any answers right now daw po.
Huwag mong iasa sa iba kundi sa iyo at sa akin ang simula ng pagbabago. Panahon na para bumangon at paikutin muli ng tama ang mundo. Suliranin ng ating lipunan, unti-unting magagawan ng paraan. Sa bagong siglo na ito ng ating mga buhay, tayo'y magsama-sama. Bigyang liwanag ang daan, maging gabay sa lipunan, kailangan ng iyong kamay.
Halika na kapwa Pilipino, halika na kapwa Isko at Iska.
Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sa harap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo. Ang agos mo ay ang iyong natutunan laban sa karahasan. Ang iyong sandata ay serbisyong sasakip sa mamamayan mula sa kahirapan. Halika na, kapwa mandirigma, magtagumpay kapwa Isko at Iska. Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sa harap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sa harap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay taas kamay ang mga bagong bayani, sa harap ng pagsubok, huwag kang susuko. Bigyan ng boses ang sigaw ng masa, ang bagong pag-asa ay, ang bagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo. Panibagong pag-asa ay mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo, mula sa'yo.
Huwag mong iasa sa iba kundi sa'yo at sa akin ang simula ng pagbabago.